All right, we'll do 2 rounds. Let's see what 1 round looks like. Oh shit. Did not understand the course of fire. Not very deliberate on that one. Well, I would say very deliberate, but I've got a lot of things I'm juggling, so I'm trying to do 2 rounds. I'm gonna do 1 round. So I'm gonna refill 1 round, and I did not set a course of fire in my mind accounting for all of the targets, so I dropped the ball. So I'm gonna actually, for this next round, I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna walk the stage first so that I'm aware of all of the targets there, and then I'll go ahead and run it before I waste my fucking time. So while I'm refilling, let's remind ourselves of the error of that last one. I need to walk the stage, quote unquote, familiarize myself with all the targets and how I'm gonna approach this. And then I'm gonna run it for 1 round. 1 round being start from here, run to that first position. From this first position, I've got a plate rack with 6 plates, some partials with some no shoots. I've got 3 partials, and then I've got just a static bullseye up here. Transition here, I've got a tiny steel in front of me, and then 3 medium-sized steels, let's say, and 3 reduced size USPSA targets up there, and then 2 about A zone size targets over there. And then I gotta go from here, transition over to this position, and I've got just a single, let's say single, and then 1 reduced size USPSA over there. Refill, I'm gonna run it again. We're gonna do 1 more round. Red dot on this one. And then we'll transition to irons. Okay. So this time we're going to do irons on this Umarex Glock 19X licensed airsoft pistol. As you can see, I am running these tiny propane tanks because it's actually more cost efficient. It's cheaper to run these propane tanks because green gas, what they'll encourage you to buy, is actually the same thing. It just comes with a little bit of silicone oil because you need it to keep your toy guns running. But you don't really need it if you just maintain at least a decent maintenance schedule for these because they're your training tools. That took significantly longer because it is a different angle. This is a Glock angle. And also because I am having a bit of a challenge just getting on my sights because I'm trying to line up my front sight with the target. So rather than being target focused, I'm becoming too front sight focused. And it is slowing me down. So that's something to keep in mind. Processing the actual stage wasn't so bad. That did tack on an additional 4 seconds. One thing I did cut down time on was here, because one thing I was noticing was that I was doing doubles to this first shot, which I'm not supposed to do. So I started with the partials, worked my way up, and then transition over here. So let's try that again. What the heck? What in the hell? We have another malfunction. Yay! Stop everything. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's to be expected. Again, these are toys, and I've been running them pretty hard for the sake of training for a little bit. So things are gonna fall apart. These are not made quite as robust as the actual thing, and stuff will fall apart. So let's stop this here and then we'll resume here in a second. We're gonna try to run this as optimally as possible. It's gonna be the last one for the morning. I gotta get to work. Ah, damn it. Let's run it one more time. Hey, I think I got it. I'm gonna say that was probably 23 on the clock. That'll do for the day. Make sure you take the time to train. Who am I kidding? Let's do one more. Lost time there. Oh. All right, fine. So I think when you start to see diminishing returns on you trying to speed up, that's probably a good time that you can stop your training. And that's why it's so tricky to determine just how much time you're gonna need to train, because one, how deliberately are you training? How much actual focus are you putting into the training? What are you paying attention to? And just, I can't check into what your body is doing. Are you feeling like you're just on the edge of boiling over? Where you're not quite mad, but you're kind of seething, like you want to do better at every single round. So I can't say what that looks like for you. Will you get there after 5 minutes? Will you get there after 10 minutes? Are you just going through the motions of just, doing your thing? You're like, okay, I'm hitting the targets. Are you just going through the motions, or are you actually deliberately measuring your performance, measuring how fast you're doing, paying attention to how you're acquiring your sights, and actually paying attention to how much time that's taking, and actually writing down or noting whether or not you're improving. Last you saw that the second to last, or the third to last, I want to say, I was aiming for 24. I may have gotten a 23 on the camera when I actually finished the course of fire, but I still came back because I wanted to squeeze out a little more. And when I came back, I think I did 2 more or 1 more, and I noticed that my times weren't getting any better, so it was time to back off. So figuring out how much time you need to actually train is going to be on you. We can give you prescriptions. You can have a prescription of 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. But if you're deliberately training, say shooting and moving with intention and with a goal, and measuring the times that you're doing it, it might be a little bit longer, as opposed to just going through the rote motions of just doing this, drawing from concealed, getting to presentation. That might take 5, 10, 15 minutes, but actually deliberately training something like this on your time and in your own space, and with whatever particular energy levels you happen to be at, might take a hell of a lot longer. So you got to play around with that. You got to note it, and that's why it requires a bit more accountability on your end, not just mine, or not anybody's on YouTube or Instagram, to determine what that number, what that time is, or what that standard is going to be as far as your training. Good luck.